don't need to tell me twice.
Activating combat mode.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion No Leveling Limit DMW run, where we attempt to beat Crisis Core without leveling up SAC, leveling up Materia level, no limit breaks, and no use of the DMW system.
Ah, good. Unattainable dreams are the best kind.
Not so much a dream, more of a challenge, Lizard. Anyway, what are the rules for this run? First, we're going to be playing on hard mode. And we cannot level up SAC's level or Materia levels, but we can upgrade Materia another way. More on that later. Finally, we can't use the DMW. Except for Chapter 0 and one side mission in Chapter 1 where we don't have the ability to turn it off yet. For now, we gotta complete Chapter 0, which goes over the basics of combat as we get into a fight with a behemoth. Already. Luckily, we have access to some mid-spell games, so our attacks do decent damage. The purpose of this boss fight is to introduce the DMW. It's basically a slot machine that can cause limit breaks to occur, later on summons, as well as causing spell costs to be reduced, and is the main way you level up anything. You see, if you get 777, SAC gains a level. If you get a 111, then the Materia in slot 1 gains a level. Get a 222, Materia in slot 2 levels up, and you get the idea. You can also get cutscenes play if you match a character's portrait, followed by their limit break. The more this happens, the more cutscenes you can unlock. Now that we've spent some time going over the DMW system, I want you to forget all about it, as in this run we won't be using it. Except for Chapter 0 and one side mission in Chapter 1 and right at the end of the game for dramatic effect. What did I just say? Oh yes, let's talk about combat. This is a third-person character action RPG, so we press X to dodge. R1 to block, this reduces damage and can block status elements. Square to attack, circle to use an item we have selected. You can use R2 and L2 to scroll through the items you have on the bottom bar. Finally, L1, which brings up the Materia menu. For now, we have 4 slots and each Materia is tied to a face button, such as triangle, square, circle, and X. Pressing one of these buttons activates the corresponding Materia. Finally, for the attack, Zack has a basic combo string that you can perform by mashing the attack. The final hit can often stun the enemy for a few seconds. For this fight, simply hit dodge, and use spells when I feel like it.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
This fight is not dangerous, however, this Sephiroth is just a hologram. However, the next fight is. We get introduced to the side missions which can be accessed from any save point. This is going to be super useful, but right now we are forced to do the first one. Mission 1-1-1. At this point, we still have the DMW active, which means we can level. And if we do, we have to restart. That's why it's scary. The mission itself is easy. Beat up some Shinra guards who are shaking in their boots. A bunch of clouds, if you ask me. I try to kill them as quickly as possible, since the longer I'm in here, the more chance I have of gaining a level on something. Luckily we beat it and get no level ups. Alright, let's get this challenge started. We get introduced to the equipment locker. After some chapters, new items or accessories are going to be available here, but what we really care about is already available. Keep opening the locker till you get the cursed ring. This accessory boosts all your stats by a nice amount, but it shuts down the DMW. Which is great for us because we don't want to level up or get any limit breaks. Now that's equipped, we gotta ask the question, how are we gonna get stronger? Well, I'm glad you asked, viewer. And if you didn't ask, well, I'm gonna tell you anyway. As we progress through the game, more and more ways are gonna open up, but for now, the only way available to us is accessories and Materia. To start with, we have 2 accessory slots. One we will always need for the cursed ring, and the second can be any other accessory. Accessories can boost stats, as well as give protection from statuses, and can add statuses to attack, and even more later on. Second is Materia. Even though we can't level up Materia, a lot of Materia can be found with modifiers. These range from attack, magic, HP, MP, etc, etc. So if we found a fire with +1 magic, it's obviously better than the fire without anything, as it gives us a +1 to our magic stat. How we're going to be finding these materials and accessories is mainly through the side missions, but before that, we gotta get on to the main quest.
War. War never changes.
That's right, war! We're currently at war with the VII, but luckily for us, the war is coming to an end in a one last attack. Our job is to run distraction. This means more or less another tutorial mission, but shows how main missions can have bonus objectives in them for better rewards. So in our first true mission, the more enemy patrols we kill, the better the reward. This means a lot of running around, interacting with stuff to trigger the fights. The troops are not too tough, but these dog-like enemies can be annoying as they like to cast fire, so in fights, I prioritize killing them first. They are weak to Blizzard. So weak in fact that even on hard mode, it's a one-shot kill. What makes this even better, that if there are two close together, one Blizzard cast can kill both. I should also mention items. Unlike other Final Fantasy games, items in this scale to you. So as you get more and more health, a potion will heal you more and more. It's all about the percentages. The same is true for Ethers and the new one, Soma, that restores AP. AP is your attack materia, the yellow one. This means even at endgame, the basic potion's still going to be useful. After clearing out everyone, we make our way to the boss. And oh my, we get two of them. New tutorial time, ability power. A gauge will appear that shows the boss is preparing for its big super special magical attack. Oh no. But if you hit the boss, it lowers the gauge. After enough hits, well technically damage, the attack will weaken. There are basically 5 power stages. 100%, the boss does the full amount. 75%, the boss does 75% of the attack damage. 50%, it does half. 25, can you guess the percent of damage the boss does now? Finally 0, which stops the attack. Should be noted that if you hit 0, the boss doesn't get stunned. So be careful as to dodge out of the way, as they may just do a basic attack. The boss fight's not too hard. It's also designed to teach you to switch between targets, as maybe you're fighting one boss, then the other starts getting ready for the big attack. They're not too bad, just focus on one, switch to interrupt the big attacks obviously, till it goes down. Then just focus on the second one, and it should go down. Then the third wheel appears. Luckily for Zack, his mentor and Jill saves the day. Now the fighting is over, we fight some weird looking troops that attack us. So we take Lazard to safety, but not before he gives us the reward for killing all those Wutai soldiers. A Phoenix down. Now I may sound salty, but this is actually a really good item. Like other Final Fantasy games, you use a Phoenix down to revive someone. In this game, you activate the Phoenix down, then a feather icon appears over your head. This sticks until you get killed, at which point the feather falls and brings you back to full health. Nice. Since this is so useful, I'm gonna sit on it for a while. We drop Lazard off with some Shinra troops as we rush after Angeal. On our way, we get intercepted with the true boss of this chapter, Ifrit. Not too hard of a boss by any means. Weak to ice, so Blizzard is good here. That is what I would say if Blizzard didn't have such a delay. You cast the spell, but it lingers in the air for a few seconds. Now out of the 3 elemental attacks, it does the best damage, but it's also the easiest to dodge for Zack and enemies. So I rely on the good old hidden dodge. I mess up with the dodge a few times, so I just heal when I need to. Plus I can use Blizzard for when the boss does his ability power attack, since when bosses use ability, they have to stay still. With that strat, Ifrit gets chilled. Why do I hear one wing? Sephiroth shows up. This is the first time you see him if you don't count the hollow of him trying to attack you at the end of chapter 0. Sephiroth spits some knowledge on you and reveals these weird looking troops are Genesis clones. A first class soldier, an asshole if you ask me, who defected and took a load of seconds and thirds with him. What's worse is Angel might have joined them.
One eternity later.
With the first proper chapter done, we can start doing some side quests, but first we explore Sector 8 of Midgar. Why do you ask? Oh, you weren't asking? You were just waiting for me to tell you? Well, you can get side quests by talking to NPCs, and we don't want to miss a side quest, just in case it has some good items, accessories, or even materia. Now, side missions can grant you bonus rewards by completing a certain percent of side missions, and the first happens to be the Thunderblade, which is going to be very useful in the next mission. Missions have a star ranking, these start at 1 star, and go all the way up to 10 stars. The lower the star, the easier the mission. Or so they say. On your map, you can see quest markers. The blue one is for the main mission, and the yellow one is for side quests, like this person in the reception area of the Shinra building. They got some experimental potion they want you to try. Welcome to the best NPC of this game. The potion you drink gives you a free Phoenix down. We are going to be talking to this person as much as we can. So I won't show every side mission, there is a ton. Okay, that's an understatement, there is an ocean amount of side quests. But I will talk about the notable ones, like this one where I have to fight Ifrit again. Same strat as before. The reward is a fire material with +3 magic to it. Oh hell yeah! There is a section of side missions dedicated to collecting Mako stones. After each of these missions, you can go talk to one of these scientists and watch some magic truly unfold.
Commencing materia generation. All hands, confirm status.
Ready, sir!
Main engine is on standby. Just give the word.
Main engine online. Report Mako concentration rate.
Concentration rate at 20, 30, 40. Steady at 50%.
Increase main engine output. The first 30 seconds of the process is crucial.
Aye, aye, sir. Output 80% and rising.
Concentration still static.
Ready cooling system. Increase Mako output to maximum.
Output at 120%. 1 minute until we reach critical point.
Mako energy concentration rate is rising. 70, 80, 90% and still going up.
All right. Hang on, we're almost there.
Concentration rate confirmed at 100%.
Shut down main engine.
Main engine shutdown confirmed. Hello, materia. The materia's complete.
That was so intense, I'm never gonna watch it again. But I gain a new materia out of it each time. I managed to get through the 1-star missions fine, but the 2-star were kicking my ass, as one attack would do half my health. But then there was this 3-star mission. A lot of the bosses get reused a lot in this game, so get used to seeing them again and again and again. I have attempted this run before, a couple years back as a live stream, so I remember this boss, and I know its pattern, so as long as I don't get hit, and I get hit. And I'm dead. I lost the Phoenix down on another side mission, and I'm too ashamed to go back to the reception to ask for more, so I'm gonna have to be very careful in this fight. A lot of dodge roll, dodge roll, dodge roll, and I start getting into the habit of hitting it once, then moving with the boss so I'm always behind it. Away from the guns, the claws, plus back attacks always do more damage, but the same also applies to Zack, so make sure to cover your back. Or block. If I get hit by its spider net, it will cause the stop effect to be applied to Zack. The net casts stop, and I don't have a way to stop from happening. Luckily for me, it's never hit me, and it won't start now. But after a while, and equipping more material to increase my attack stat, the boss goes down.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
I'm happy, as 2 and 3-star missions are going to be harder than the main story missions for a bit. Right? Right? Main story time. We're off to the hometown of Genesis and Angel. Kill some clones, then fight the 3-star boss we just fought, only this version is much weaker. Same plan as before, only this is a weaker version, so obviously it goes down much faster.
Conflict resolved.
Well, that wasn't much of a threat. While Song's digging graves, let's go find Angeal's mum round this corner. Oh, Jason Christ, it's that Beyblade! Yes, these are Beyblade helicopter mechs. They can spin around doing good damage, or they can shoot, doing good damage. Luckily they're weak to thunder, so I just spam thunder at them, killing them as quickly as possible. We enter a small village with a number of houses. One of them is Angeal's mom's house. Pick the wrong one and a fight happens. I don't want to waste items, so I pick the right house. We walk into the mom's house, notice Angeal's Buster Sword. Zack gets killed a puppy.
Are you Zack, the puppy?
After that roast, Angeal's mom is all like, Genesis can't kill me.
Don't be concerned. Genesis cannot harm me.
Would be a shame if that was proven wrong in the near future. After this awkward exchange, we get a call from Song telling us that there is a factory. I don't know, maybe we should have started looking in there. Make my way to the cliff overlooking the factory. Looks like Genesis has set up shop, so we gotta break in, beat up these clones, and then head to the opposite direction so we can pick up a chest. Then head to the shop floor where it's clones and Beyblades. Lucky it's a big enough space so I can easily avoid attacks and heal when I need to. We finally get to meet Genesis, who loves quoting Loveless. Hopefully this will not be a reoccurring thing. It's gonna be a reoccurring thing.
Settle down.
Looks like Zack's already annoyed at it. Gotta run back to town and save Angeal's mom, as both Shinra and Genesis are gonna blow up the town. First it's Genesis missiles, so we cut them in half. Press the attack button when the missile goes red. I get them all except one. After that embarrassment, we got only seconds to get to Angeal's mom's home. There is no time to waste, we're here. Luckily, the airstrike's been delayed. We enter and it looks like the mum is dead. Ha! So much for can't kill me. Angeal is all like, I'm leaving Shinra. And Genesis is all like, I'm quoting Loveless.
Shut up! I'm warning you!
That's what I would do in this situation, Zack. Anyway, Genesis summons Bahamut. Bahamut already? I mean, how hard could it be? One hit can take out most of my health, so dodging most attacks is a must in this fight. Using high and X potions when I do get hit with the big damage attacks to fully heal. Bahamut uses a dive move that, when timed right, I can dodge roll and take no damage. Then if I attack his back, he will use a tail whip that, if I dodge at the right time, I take no damage. But do it wrong and I can take 2 hits from the attack. Then he likes flying to one of these outer platforms away from my physical attacks, so I gotta use fire on the boss. While dodging lightning attacks it casts. I could use a Phoenix down to save me from a death, but I want to save them for later. I know I can kill it without using one. His ability power is a one-hit kill unless on 25%, and just attacking it seems to be the best strat to bring it down. After many attempts and a lot of items, Bahamut goes down.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
And so does the town. We start this chapter the same as the last, go into town to pick up some side quests, then do a bunch of side quests. In order to make my life easier, I created a jump build. Jump allows me to dodge incoming attacks by jumping into the air, then landing on the enemy for damage. This move is good, as in the air we take no damage, and on landing, damage is somewhat decent. A win-win. Hello there. This move is actually busted. In the Shinra building, we have a guard that won't let us into the training room. Well, I mean, he's not meant to let us in, but he does anyway. So we go in. What's the worst that can happen? Help Hojo. Oh dear God. With his tests? Oh dear God. Which is not too bad. Have to fight a bunch of weak monsters, then the real test. A behemoth. Which isn't too bad, but I die. Luckily, I got a Phoenix down from the front desk lady, so I get back up and kick its ass.
Conflict resolved.
Back to the story, and this is a bit of an embarrassment. At this point, Zack gets promoted to first class. With this promotion comes 2 more material slots, and more importantly, materia fusion. This would have helped massively with all the side missions and the Hojo fight I just done. now it's time for Materia Fusion tutorial. Materia Fusion is where you take two materia and combine them together. This can result in a completely new materia, but for our purposes, increasing the modifiers on the materia. So by combining two materials with no modifiers, you'll create one with a +1 modifier. Now you can't combine two +1 materials, you can combine a +1 with a no modifier materia to create a +2 materia. Great! Now you can't add a +1 or base materia to increase your +2 materia, but you have to use two +2 materials to get an increase by one modifier. The second lesson is the materia modifier increases based on the highest modifier being the base value and the lower one being divided by 2 rounded down, then added to it. So if you have a materia with a +7 and a materia with a +5, the 7 will be the base value and the 5 will be divided by 2 rounded down, so 2. Combined 7 and 2 to get 9. Materia do have a max modifier, but we won't be getting close to that for now. Also, depending on when you place the materia in the fusion slot can also cause a different result. Okay, so back to Lazard we go, and oh no, the Shinra building is being attacked, so we gotta go save the day. The elevator stops and we can get off and go look around, or we can go straight to the main objective. I get off because I know I can get some extra gil and items. Clear some enemies, and it isn't until I get to the front entrance when I realize I'm stuck in the materia menu during combat. I can't close it, so I run out of AP and die because I can't restore my AP. Oh yeah, I've been using items a lot to restore HP, NP, and AP. It's costly, so occasionally I will have to spend an hour or so grinding gil. Still working on what's best to grind all that gil. Hello, Future Soldy here. Yeah, it was actually a while before I found a decent grinding spot. So until I say so, I was using mission 1-1-1, the first mission, to grind 200 gil a go. It was slightly under, and also each item cost me 200 gil at least. So yeah, the grinds were long. God, I suck at this game. Go back and do everything again with the menu issue fixed. But new issue, I actually get to the front and these mechs are wrecking me. Their miniguns can stun lock me and do decent damage. If I don't heal in time, I'm gonna die, and I'm struggling to kill them off quickly. Kill them eventually, then some clones, then 4 mechs shows up and wrecks me. So I decide to go back and do even more side quests. Let's fight the boss of the last chapter again for a side mission. Bahamut. After a few attempts, I go in with a more damage focused build and manage to win with very little issue. The extra materia slots and materia fusion helping out a lot.
Conflict resolved.
I get overconfident and fight Bahamut again. Things don't go well. This version feels like it's doing more damage and it's using attacks that it normally does far away, up close and personal. Then it goes to an outer platform and casts Flare. Flare! Well, I managed to avoid it, then the boss goes for its ability power. Get it to 25% knowing I can survive, but this version of Mega Flare gets rid of HP, MP and AP? There's no way this is a 2-star mission. I'll come back later. Okay, after a few more side missions, I feel confident going back to the main story. I pick up a free Phoenix down from the front desk. God, I love this woman. This time I managed to get further by, you guessed it, focusing on more damage rather than being defensive. I am definitely going to be a glass cannon for most of this run. Get past the mechs that were causing me trouble, run into the Turks, say hi to the second best new character in this game. Sorry Sis Nave, Phoenix Down Lady best girl. Save people from the mechs and clones to get rewards. Speaking of clones, we got a boss fight with an improved Genesis clone. This one is better than the actual Genesis because it doesn't talk. Bonus, it has easy to read melee attacks. The gunshot can be annoying, and the fire is certainly the most dangerous attack. Luckily, I have a silence attack, and it managed to work, making the clone waste a fire cast. Heal when I need to, and with that, this boss goes down with no trouble.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
With that, the streets are safe. But we still have a Genesis and Angel to deal with. So Zack teams up with Sephiroth to go hunting. At this next save point, I unlock a new shop. There are no physical shop locations in this game, which is good, as you can open up your menu to buy stuff whenever you need to. Useful, as after every fight I need to restore HP, MP and AP with items. This new shop sells materia which is going to be useful for fusions, so we're going to grind some gil and do some fusing. Kill this monster that has an Angel face on it. What the fuck? Sephiroth explains in the flashback that him and Genesis and Angel used to hang out in the training room. Looks like Genesis was a little jelly that Sephiroth was the hero and got hurt in a fight. Anyway, we unlock Yuffie missions, so I do some of those since the rewards are very useful materia, like this HP plus 20%. Since I don't have access to Potion Lady, if I die and waste a Phoenix down, I will just die again so I can keep it. Right, so in this area, the enemies here are Angel clones. The enemy we fought at the beginning is a Sangun Angel. It likes to jump, which does a lot of damage. You can dodge roll, but I generally just use block. They're weak to fire, so it's a lot of spamming fire to get rid of them fast. The floating eye enemies here are weak to Blizzard, but left alone for a while will fly away. And they generally cast Blizzard, which like I mentioned early on, is very easy to dodge. Turn some valves to open Hollander's secret lab. Hollander is the evil scientist for this game. Find out that Project G...
Project Genesis.
Thank you, Sephiroth. Turns out Genesis and Angel were created using cells from some 2,000-year-old ancient being. That sounds awfully familiar. Actually, Genesis shows up, still chilly about Sephiroth, even though Sephiroth is like, yeah, sure, you can be the hero, bud. But now Genesis wants the gift of the goddess, I think. Oh yeah, Hollander, who walked in before Genesis shows up, runs out, so it's up to Zack, the first class, to chase him. Oh boy, Hollander is a slippy one. Fight some mechs and clones along the way till we catch up to Hollander, who is standing right by a save point. You know what that means. A boss fight is right there. Some more side quests. I'm just kidding, we fight the boss. This boss fight is a free mech fight. Fun fact is I already fought all of these mechs before. In fact, Missiles and Chainsaw I had to fight at the same time in a side mission. My strat was killing Missiles first, as I thought Chainsaw would be easier, and wasn't exactly. Luckily I still won that fight. So how am I going to approach this fight? Well, Chainsaw is weak to lightning, and the blue one who likes to thrust his pole into Zack is weak to ice. The elemental weak mechs are more close range fighters, so I just gotta keep my distance. While Missiles on the other hand is a long range, as he likes to spam, yes, missiles, so gotta dodge those. Kill the one that's weak to ice first, then focus Chainsaw one with lightning. I'm getting worried as I'm using a lot of ethers for this fight. Maybe I should have brought a lot more of them. Eventually I get left with Missiles, and I focus on melee trying to save my ethers. The problem is I get one attack in before I have to dodge the missiles. If I don't do this, I end up getting hit by a number of missiles, which takes a chunk of my health. Gotta use my healing items, and I accidentally use one of my X potions instead of a high potion. God damn it. In fact, I use a number of high potions, but the boss does go down.
Conflict resolved.
And Jill shows up and is like, I'm a monster. And Zack's like, you're an angel. Because, you know, get it? And Jill, angel.
Clever girl.
And Jill is all like, actually, angels just want to be human, so my point still stands. Zack is like, I don't want to fight. And Jill is like, okay. And blasts Zack into darkness. Thanks for watching the first part. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave a dislike. Comment below. Do you think I'm going to succeed this challenge run? And I'll see you guys on the next part. Goodbye.